rumours out there of all sorts of stuff. I've interviewed Marvel people before. I know you can't say anything, but I'm just, would you go back if you got an offer? Is it a character you love, a universe you love going back to when you have come back?
It's a character that I love going back to when there's a way to use her well. And I think I have been lucky that when I started, I was used well within Age of Ultron, and then I think people didn't know what to do with me for a second there, and then they were able to utilize the character well in interesting ways of telling stories in ways they hadn't yet. Mm-hmm. And so if there's a good way to use her, I'm always happy to come back, however they can make that make sense.
Yeah. And go back to this film though. Natasha obviously is the third sister, so I have to as well ask, what were what was the relationship like between the three of you when they said cut? Did you feel like, I know it's only 3 weeks, you're telling me now that the filming process, but did you feel a little bit like sisters by the end?
Yeah, I mean, I think, even though it was 3 weeks, in the same way the film plays with time feeling meaningless, like it can feel like as I said, it makes like sometimes getting a coffee feel like it could have been 3 hours long, or watching someone die in 2 minutes. Like the playing of time in this film is, I think, similar how I felt in memory of making it, where yes, it was 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks, and it was super short getting to have that time together, but it took up such a huge space in my memory because of the experience felt incredibly rich. And we spent so many hours with one another, caring so deeply about something together. And so it feels more expansive than the time actually was, in the similar way that the characters are experiencing time within the film, strangely.
Yeah, we really understood the assignment. I mean, everybody showed up really vulnerable and prepared to be vulnerable to each other, because that's the gig. I mean, you don't have time to do anything else.
Yeah.
And we really just really love each other, I would say.
Yes. It's been interesting doing press because we end up talking for such a long time because we want to
next to each other,
but not with each other.
The plan is we all will take turns watching over. She hasn't done a shift, right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't find that strange? Once we get here, she steps back from all responsibility?
Your life is perfect. You got your kid. Probably gonna pop out a bunch more. No, nothing pops. There's no popping. That's not the way it is. Okay, whatever. It looks like popping to me.
That was Carrie Coon and Elizabeth Olsen. They're telling us all about their brand new movie, His Three Daughters, which is streaming right now on Netflix. It's going to be a big one come award season, let me tell you. And stay with us here on FM104's The Juice, as right after this song, we're going to be chatting to the director and writer who not only made the thing, he wrote all the parts for Carrie Coon, Elizabeth Olsen and Natasha Lyonne. While he was writing it, he literally was thinking of them. Anyway, we're going to find out more from Azazel Jacobs in just a minute, right after this song. It's FM104's The Juice.